Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Selamat datang diucapkan kepada para jemputan dan peserta yang telah mendaftar untuk menyertai program Virtual Agrotechnology Extension 2021 VAE 2021 secara maya. Dibarisi para penceramah yang merupakan pakar pertanian dari dalam dan luar negara, program yang syarat dengan ilmu ini akan berlangsung selama 2 hari. Diharap ianya dapat dimanfaatkan sebaiknya agar membuahkan hasil yang positif kepada semua yang terlibat. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, hadirin sekalian, izinkan saya untuk menerangkan secara ringkas atur cara program pada hari ini. Program akan dimulakan dengan pembentangan kertas kerja yang pertama pada jam 9 pagi. Seterusnya, majlis akan berehat sebentar sehingga jam 10.30 pagi dan akan diteruskan dengan majlis perasmian VAE 2021 yang akan disempurnakan oleh Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Dr. Ronald Kendi, Menteri Pertanian dan Industri Makanan. Pembentangan kedua dan seterusnya akan diteruskan setelah selesai majlis perasmian nanti. Sekali lagi, para peserta diingatkan untuk mendaftar kehadiran di link yang disediakan. Terima kasih. Kembali semula bersiaran untuk program Virtual Agroteknologi Extension 2021. Bagi memulakan majlis kita pada hari ini, marilah kita sama-sama membaca Ummul Kitab Al-Fatihah. Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, program kita akan dimulakan dengan kertas kerja pertama yang bertajuk Hala 7 Rancangan Malaysia ke-12 Kementerian Pertanian dan Industri Makanan yang akan disampaikan oleh Yang Berusaha Encik Khalid bin Ibrahim, Setiausaha Bahagian Pembangunan Perniagaan dan Pelaburan Kementerian Pertanian dan Industri Makanan. Majlis dengan hormatnya mempersilakan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Dan salam sejahtera. Yang saya hormati datuk-datuk, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, sama ada di Dewan ini ataupun di alam maya. Saya Khalid Ibrahim daripada Bahagian Pembangunan Perniagaan dan Pelaburan MAFI ingin merakamkan ribuan terima kasih kepada pihak pengurusan Jabatan Pertanian Malaysia kerana kesudian menjemput saya untuk berkongsi pengalaman berkaitan dengan pembangunan perniagaan dan pelaburan MAFI. Topik pada pagi ini merupakan satu topik yang besar, namun saya bercadang untuk memfokuskan perkongsian saya berkaitan dengan fungsi pemasaran, pembangunan rantaian nilai, pelaburan, insentif percukaian dan juga pengembangan perniagaan. Saya akan mulakan dengan fungsi-fungsi bahagian Business Development and Investment atau yang mereka dengan BDI. Yang pertama, fungsi bahagian adalah untuk coordinate planning, implementation, monitoring and evaluation of business development programs. Seterusnya, ia membangunkan network dan juga business matching. Seterusnya, coordinate the allocation and distribution of fund, subsidies, incentives, and funding. Fourth, we identify potential new markets locally and abroad. Then, we also coordinate the application of approved permits or AP for import and export quota. Last but not least, we also implement promotional programs, branding, trade cooperation, market intelligence, technical collaboration in the agricultural sector. The first function is to create network and business network.
Thank you, Puan.
What we have
Sejam kan?
the first program that we have implemented since RMK 9 up to RMK 11 is concept fund or ladang contract. Previously, ladang contract program focused on the production of agricultural produce, but then for 2021, the allocation, the first aim is to connect agricultural producers to the market. We have marketers getting direct supply from the producers. Then we identify and develop agricultural producers who are capable of becoming local marketers. And then last but not least, we also guarantee producers income through contract purchase. Among the scope for ladang contract are we give incentive for marketing equipment. There are also incentives for price flow and margin incentives. Then we also provide marketing and business matching for producers and also marketers. Then we develop or even upgrade the pusat pengumpulan ladang or farm collection centers throughout the countries. I would like to take the opportunity to thank the relevant agencies under the ministries, which are Pharma, LPNM, LKM, and LPP, who are the implementing agencies for Ladang Contract 2.0. So, what are the functions of these agencies? Among the functions are they register participants, they evaluate and approve participant applications, provide marketing assistance to participants, monitor and also record the marketing activities of each participant according to the KPI that are being set, to act as buyers of participant produce. Then they act as facilitator and or mediator between producers and marketers. Let us go through what are some of the KPIs of ladang contract or contract farming. So the most critical success KPI is the numbers of business matching or agreement or sales program. Previously, we focused on the hectareage of farms, but now we also stress on the quantity of business matching, agreements, and sales. So far, as of 31st August of this year, we have managed to generate business matchings or sales that is amounting to over 70 million ringgit. Based on this model, Ladang Contract 2.0 managed to match participants who are the outgrowers, the farmers from all over the countries with the market. So, in the middle, we can see that these are the activities that I've mentioned previously. We conduct business matching, market arrangement, provide marketing space, and also guaranteed market for the produce. For RMK 11, it was recorded that there were over 6,000 participants who have been created through Ladang contract. Let me share with you several examples of successful participants. Okay, in the slide is Encik Khairul Nizam Muhammad Amin. He is from Muar Johor. He participated in Ladang contract way back in 2015. Then he became a marketer participant in 2016 with only a group of 6 producers and market around his produce around Johor. Among his produce are pineapples and coconuts. Then in 2018, he became a participant of Jualan Terus dari Ladang Pasaraya in Selangor, Penang, Perak, Pahang, and Terengganu. Currently, there are a group of 70 producers and that supplies produce to him. Indirectly, some of the producers also get credit facilities from Cik Khairul. So, this is another successful participant by the name of Haji Amran Binjantan from Batu Pahat, Johor. He is in the white shirt with ketayap. Haji Amran, I personally went and meet him last year in Batu Pahat. He was originally a fisherman by profession. In 1988, he felt that he could not see that he could be successful by continuing to be a fisherman. Then he contacted the farmer and asked how could he change his profession from a fisherman to a farmer. So farmer introduced him to be a participant in one of the pasar malam in Johor, specifically in Batu Pahat. Alhamdulillah, in 1993, he started sending vegetables like cassava leaves, pucuk paku, and to Singapore on a small scale. Way back in 2014, Haji Amran participated in cocoa program that is designed to support local farmers for the export market category. Alhamdulillah, he managed to secure orders from market in Singapore, from Geylang, Hougang, Woodlands, and Bedok. Way back in 2014, Haji Amran participated in Larkin Farmers Market. So this is some of the examples of participants that participated in Ladang Contract Program. In conclusion, for RMK 11, over 6,000 participants were created. We managed to produce over 100 big marketeers, with a total production of 3.3 billion ringgit. So the next function of the division is to coordinate the allocations and distribution of funds, subsidies, incentive, and funding. By the way, at the end of my slide, I will provide the context details, the names of relevant officers and their emails, and also contact numbers. So anyone or in the audience could get the numbers and then contact for further information. So let's talk about investment. So specifically in agriculture, the role of the division, we focus on production of agri-food, bio-based technology, and agri-tech. The types of investment that we focus: foreign direct investment, domestic direct investment, and also reverse investment. So we engage, what do we do then to stimulate investment? We engage with stakeholders at the private sectors, state and national corridors. We monitor projects together with state agencies. So we resolve issues and solutions and report project performance. We work closely with other agencies like MIDA and the technical departments like Department of Agriculture, Department of Fisheries, Department of Veterinary Services. So because this department has its own dedicated function that manage investment. Among the incentive that we provide for under the food production project under income tax, under the Income Tax Act 1967 are: first, we grant to the implementing company and investing company of the project. It was introduced in 2001 and it is being renewed so far for every 5 years. The current cycle of incentive approval is until 31st December next year, and the scope for the production is for new project and also expansion project. So what about the eligibility of incentive, the term and condition of those tax incentive? First, tax exemption is given to implementing companies. Like for example, for a company that want to plant durian, so it is given this incentive for implementing company for new projects, 100% income tax exemption for 10 years. For any expansion project, 100% income tax exemption for only 5 years. Of course, in addition to implementing company, there will be investing company as well. For investing company, tax deduction is given, provided that it has access to equal the amount of investment. for a new project only, and it is only for the maximum of 3 years of deduction. So on the slide, we could see that list of production that has been approved under the incentive. It covers planting of fruits, vegetable, herbs, industrial plant, cash crop, and even spices. It also covers animal feed, seed planting, livestock farming, aquaculture, deep sea and high sea fisheries, and not to forget apiculture as well. This is getting interesting. Who should apply? So under the Act, implementing company that incorporated under the Companies Act 2016 and has a paid up capital of at least 100,000 for fishery project and catchment project at least 1 million ringgit. I have quite numbers of slides with me today. It is about 70 slides. I don't intend to read each and every one. Intentionally, I prepared the slide for the audience to download the slide as well. Okay. The next on the agenda is the modernization program of Agrofood value chain, or in Malay program Modernisasi Rantaian Nilai Agro Makanan. Okay. In the recent budget, it was announced that 60 million ringgit is allocated to Agrobank to finance modernization program under the Agrofood value chain. The fund is in the form of grants. Grants of 60 million have been provided for convenient purposes, funding amounting to 1 million ringgit on rate of 3.5% per annum up to the period of 10 years for entrepreneurs along the agro-food chain for procurement of IR 4.0 based equipment and technology. The term and condition of the grant is on the slide. It covers any business entity such as company, enterprise, and partnership, anchor companies involved in community entrepreneur development, and also entrepreneurs under the anchor company who have been approved by the Agrobank. Then the second fund is Agrofood Financing Fund, Dana Pembiayaan Agro Makanan. The objective of the funds is to increase domestic food production and reduce food imports, and to provide financing for projects in the food sector at an affordable rate. The amount of funds to be provided is 60 million ringgit for RMK 12. So Malaysian citizens are eligible for the funds, be it individual or non-individual, sole proprietors or even partnership business, Malaysian-owned companies of at least 51% and established under the Companies Act 2016. So the next function of the division is to identify potential new markets, be it locally and abroad. Among the issues and challenges that we face when we want to market Malaysians made produce, be it locally or internationally, we could sum it under this slide. The first is the capability on sustaining Malaysian product brand compared to other brands. Then Malaysia is focusing more on rubber and palm oil trade. There are huge potential on the agriculture and food sectors to be is for the EMC to consolidate Malaysian products. In a while, I will show I will share some of the success case studies that we have managed so far. And then this EMC will also provide business networking in order for the SKUs or even our product to penetrate the market. And then by having an EMC, we could coordinate, we could effectively manage our costs to participate in trade and trade exhibition, e-commerce and retail outlets in any new markets. Domestically, we have worked with AirAsia Farm as a B2B online platform. Alhamdulillah, we have been working very close with the team at AirAsia Farm. They have been very, very supportive from the top management right to the team of AirAsia Farm. Recently, it was reported that they managed to secure to do 3 million transactions over their platform, which is a B2B. They are also embarking, or to be specific, already embarking on B2C trading. Recently, during the Harum Manis season, we have a great campaign where we secure Harum Manis from Perlis to Sabah. More than 1,500 farmers were involved. For the Harum Manis project, it was reported that over 10 million metric tons of Harum Manis were sold, that generated over 300,000 of sales. In terms of strategic collaboration with multinational corporations or big hypermarket, we have collaborated with the Lotus Groups and Petronas. We do business matching, in-store promotions. We have a dedicated program that sells fresh produce like vegetable, fish and dairy product at selected Mesra's station, Petronas station, all over the Klang Valley. Recently, we do business matching with Lotus Group, Lotus Store, to provide an outlet for local dairies, farmers to sell fresh local meat. Globally, in terms of trade promotions, we also do in-store promotions, joint exhibitions and conferences. What about how do we strategize better in 2012? We always believe that in single branding is much more effective, cost-effective and efficient to have a single branding. Therefore, for Japan market, we have worked with a company with SD Impact. It is a private initiative to penetrate Japanese food market by consolidating SME's product to be marketed under one single brand. Over the past year, we have managed to consolidate 30 SKUs from diverse brands like Nuha, Faiza, for example. We repack these SKUs under a single brand that is My Kitchen. That is for the Japan market. So recently we have worked with Unity Asia in collaboration with Pharma. It is also an initiative to sell or to promote Bumiputera SME's product in the ASEAN Mall in Patani in southern part of Thailand. In addition to the promotions, these are our agriculture councillor officers that are located all over the world. The first office is in Bangkok, Beijing, Sydney, Tokyo, Dubai, The Hague, and last but not least, Washington DC. The core business of these ACOs is to uphold existing market access and penetrate potential of new market access. Then ACOs are expected to do market intelligence, promote technical exchange, technology transfer, then elevate market and trade demand via marketing or even promotional programs. They also facilitate bilateral and even multilateral policy development. And last but not least, they participate in diplomatic and business networking. So these are why do we believe in that in order for us to move forward. Previously that we rely on the direct involvement of ACOs, Agricultural Councillor Office, that I mentioned before, but the result has been very much mixed. There was an issue about sustainability. So moving forward, we believe that by having EMCs in this market could provide a better business proposition for Malaysian SKU. So the next function of the division is to coordinate application for approved permits for import and also export quotas. For today's presentations, I want to focus on the coconut industries. Overall, 1 billion kilogram of coconut is consumed by Malaysians annually. 54% is consumed by the general population, and the rest is used by coconut industries. So, how does MAFI manage the application for this AP? There are 3 types of applications. The first is a new application. For any new applications, it is open throughout the year. Previously, it was until April, but under new innovation, we decided to open the application throughout the year. And then for the next additional application, the application is also open throughout the year. And then it is compulsory for certain document to be attached together with the applications. And then there is a renewal application for every year. So these are some of the scope of the importation for the purpose of manufacturing and processing of kelapa tua biji based on products such as coconut milk, curry seed, coconut powder, frozen coconut milk, and cannot be sold as fresh coconut. The consumption coconut by any particular factory or facility must exceed 500,000 coconut. Then import for purpose of fresh sales are aimed. Fresh coconuts are only given to so far to Pharmaco and Nafas. These are some of the terms for application. Companies must be registered in Malaysia. It must manufacture coconut-based products for domestic or even export purposes. The applicants must have a factory or premise that has been operating for at least 3 months. And then for fresh sale, jualan segar, pharma corporations and nafas, as I mentioned previously, were given specific license to manage the sale of fresh coconuts and have supply of contracts to hypermarket or even SMEs. Can they distribute to retailers and have storage or even distribution premise. These are some of the figures about the consumption of kelapa tua for 2016 up to 2019. These are some of the photos that shows assessment or evaluations of any processing factories upon receiving the applications. Applicants assessed based on the term and conditions, invited for interviews, and then the next stage there will be lawatan tapak or physical assessment at the applicant facilities. So, as I mentioned before, there are 7 agricultural cultural officers throughout the world. Let me share with you some of the prospects for Malaysian product in Australia. So, for the Australian market, so the function is to strengthen the existing market for frozen durian, specifically musangking and jackfruit. There are also prospects for frozen vegetable like petai, lemongrass, pandan leaves, and banana leaves. Currently, this category is being dominated by suppliers or exporters from Thailand and Vietnam. And then also big prospect for consumer-ready processed products like convenient food, for example, nuggets, patties, sausages, and meatloaf. So what about the prospects for the Malaysian product in China? So as everyone is aware, musangking is very, very popular in China. For that reason, year in, year out, do durian diplomacy program in most provinces such as Shanghai and Beijing. We collaboration with other agencies at the Malaysian Embassy in Beijing in presenting the advantages of musangking compared to other durians. And then not to forget, we also participate in major exhibition throughout China. So another function of the ACOs is to provide or to facilitate in cases or issues that involve in Malaysian exporters in cases like the detention of Malaysian consignment in any particular market. So we also have an office in the Netherlands. Which also do musangking and jackfruit promotions. Recently, there was a case of detention of Malaysian jackfruit consignment in Spain, following the implementation of EU's regulation on composite products, which came into effect on April 2021. Mami Malaysia has experienced an issue where 2 consignments were detained by the authorities of Port Valencia in Spain. Product from D consignment were found contained dairy product which, in accordance with the implementation of the rules, dairy-based product must obtain import approval from the EU or can be imported from a third party that has been approved by the EU. In this regard, the DVS, or Department of Veterinary Services Malaysia, has informed that it has issued a letter to Mami Corporation to refer back to Food Safety and Quality Division of the MOH. So, for further context, this is the context details of relevant officers in MAFI. Bahagian Pemodenan Pertanian, we may contact Puan Azilawati. From Agrobank, Encik Muhammad Anif is ready to serve you, and then also Encik Lokman Effendi. So again, I show you the Agriculture Councillor offices that are located in Tokyo. It is currently being headed by Cik Fahmi, who is very hardworking, ever ready to facilitate Malaysian exporters. And then in Sydney, we have Puan Maheran, who is very, very responsive, very knowledgeable in trades, export, import matters. And then in Beijing, a very young lady or officers by the name of Puan Huda is very well versed in managing trade disputes, trade facilitation among companies, between companies, Malaysian companies with their China's counterparts. In Bangkok, we have Cik Khairuddin and Puan Fatin. And then in Dubai, most of the recent ACOs, Cik Zahirul and Cik Zaki, ever ready to facilitate nation exporters to promote the product in the GCC countries. And then Cik Salim is the head of Malaysia Agriculture Council's office in The Hague, the Netherlands. And then Cik Roslan is the first secretary for the ACO's office in Washington, D.C. I guess that's the end of my presentations. I wish to thank you for your time to listen. Ms. Nadia, I guess we still have time for question and answer. My email is khalid.ibrahim@mafi.gov. Back to Ms. Nadia. Thank you. Again, I want to
Terima kasih yang berusaha Encik Khalid di atas pembentangan yang sangat berinformatif itu tadi. Sebagai tanda perhargaan, majlis menjemput yang berbahagia Datuk Zahibi bin Hassan, Timbalan Ketua Pengarah Pertanian Pengurusan dan Regulatory untuk menyampaikan cenderahati kepada yang berusaha Encik Khalid bin Ibrahim. Dipersilakan. Terima kasih kepada Yang Berbahagia Datuk atas kesudian menyampaikan cerita sebentar tadi. Hadirin sekalian, program pada pagi ini akan diteruskan dengan majlis perasmian yang akan disempurnakan oleh Yang Berhormat Datuk Seri Dr. Ronald Kiandi, Menteri Pertanian dan Industri Makanan pada jam 10.30 pagi. Sebelum itu, saya juga ingin memaklumkan beberapa perkara di mana tuan-puan boleh mengklik tour video yang tertera di skrin untuk mengetahui semua maklumat yang terdapat di dalam platform. Platform live adalah selama 2 hari, tetapi semua peserta masih boleh melawat platform selama 30 hari bermula hari ini. Peserta juga boleh menyertai kuis sama ada di booth, demo, Kahoot dan juga button quiz. Hadiah pemenang akan dipost terus ke alamat rumah. Kami juga terdapat 60 booth terdiri daripada booth-booth Jabatan Pertanian, international speakers, syarikat-syarikat, usahawan dan banyak lagi. Jadi kita berehat sebentar, minum kopi tapi buat sendirilah ya. Jumpa tuan-puan pada jam 10.30 pagi.